would like to start today by acknowledging the Dharawal people as the traditional owners of the land on which Nantian Institute resides. I also acknowledge the traditional custodians of the various lands on which you all are, and I pay my respects to the elders, past, present, and emerging. The check-in sessions have been developed by our Communities of Practice team and community. In 2018 and 19, we ran a number of community days and then began these weekly half-hour check-in sessions in October 2020. The purpose of these events were as outlined above, guided by humanistic Buddhism to develop and cultivate our practice and friendships. Now more than ever, the practice has become vital, and the purpose of today is exactly that. I'd now like to introduce my friend Dr. Jonathan Page, who is a lecturer at Nantian Institute, a medical oncologist, and a valued member of the community. Thank you, Jonathan.
Yeah, well, thank you, Priscilla. And a warm welcome to everybody. And thank you for joining us from all the 10 directions. Once again, I hope you've been able to enjoy some self-compassion, much needed during the week. And as you know, you can never have too much of this. Now, today we're talking a little bit about guilt, and I'm sure we've all felt guilt from time to time, perhaps after forgetting somebody's birthday or an anniversary. We're disappointed in ourselves. Guilt may arise if we violate our own personal code of behavior, or if our speech or action upsets somebody else, or both, or not doing something important that someone dear expected of us. Of course, we may be aiming for perfection all the time, and thus bound to fail often. And guilt, of course, can remain unresolved. So life can be so complicated. Usually the solution involves some insight, understanding, some type of forgiveness and self-compassion, recognizing that the experience of guilt is a moment of suffering. This guilt may have arisen in childhood, when we were very young, innocent and vulnerable, and the guilt may have become part of our character, unbeknownst to ourselves. Shame is usually deeper than guilt. We may actually feel defective in some way, and this can be difficult to talk about. But self-compassion is vital for recovery. In the Atha Nuvada Sutra, the Buddha refers to guilt. Mendicants, there are these 4 fears. What for? The fears of guilt, shame, punishment, and going to a bad place. The fear of guilt is when someone reflects, if I were to do bad things by way of body, speech, and mind, wouldn't I blame myself for my conduct? Being afraid of guilt, they give up bad conduct by way of body, speech, and mind, and develop good conduct by way of body, speech, and mind, keeping themselves pure. Now, of course, in the modern world, we know that the issues of responsibility for conduct, for personal conduct, are very complicated. But that fear and self-blame can be transformed through personal growth by attention to mindfulness, self-compassion, self-forgiveness, and kindly self-understanding, discovering our inner goodness. For example, as Emily Bronte writes in her poem To Imagination, what matters it that all around danger and guilt and darkness lie, if but within our bosoms bound we hold a bright, untroubled sky, warm with 10,000 mingled rays of suns that know no winter days. And further in this area of poetry, remember Rumi, the wise Sufic mystic, who wrote, "Tonight I saw the realm of joy and pleasure. I've lost myself in it, and it has lost itself in me. No religion, no dogma, no conformity, no guilt, no shame, no fear, no conviction or uncertainty remained. Again, in the middle of my heart, a star appears, and the 7 troubles are lost in its brilliance." So now let us gather and we'll have a short period of reflection and meditation. So gently shut your eyes and let them soften and begin to relax. We're relaxing together. So relax your forehead and your cheeks and your lips. And relax all the facial muscles. And relax your neck muscles. Now at this point in the meditation, you may like to place your open hand on your heart. So normally your right hand open, palm very, very gently onto the front of your chest in the region of the heart. This is of great value, particularly in stimulating self-compassion. And it can be quite powerful in identifying the warmth of your heart and your essential goodness. So keeping your hand on your heart, continue to relax. Relax your shoulders, your upper arms, your lower arms, your hands and fingers, especially the thumbs, your back muscles, and let a wave of softness move downward from the back of your neck, all the way down your back, down to the bottom. And so relax your thighs, your calf muscles, and your feet and toes. So you can feel the whole body completely relax. You can feel the warmth in your heart. So now take your attention to the tip of your nose and to the nostrils, and watch the spontaneous rhythm of your wonderful breath. Notice the air moving in through your nostrils, sometimes feeling cool and sharp if you take a slightly deeper breath. Filling the lungs, and when the lungs are full, there's normally a short pause, and then the air all by itself begins to escape through the nostrils, and the air now warm and soft. Soon the lungs are empty, there's another pause, and then the next breath arises. So just watch that rhythm of your breath for a short while now. So when you're ready, you can return to the present moment and open your eyes. As we end the meditation. And so in the breakout groups that are going to follow, you may wish to talk about any thoughts, feelings, or words of guilt that you've encountered recently or in the past. Yeah, actually, the relationship of guilt and humility is a great thought, Niran. Because when we feel guilt, often humility is one of the ways to resolve it. It can be a preventative strategy too. That's a good thought. Yeah, and self-compassion, we can work on that, and self-forgiveness is important, yeah. I think, as quickly as possible so that the different guilts that we feel don't accumulate. Maybe a package forgiveness from time to time for everything that we've done, even things we're not aware of. Yeah, I think that's a great idea, the catalyst for great compassion. Yep, for ourselves and for others. I think it's like most of these aversive emotions, they can be a stimulus to great transformation, and self-knowledge, and then compassion ultimately. And then we're less likely to be guilty. Yeah, well, I think it was Peter there said yes. I think having some guilt, I think, is a good message from the outside world to us that we have to improve our behaviour. So having a signal, or an internal signal, I guess, of guilt. So keep these responses going for a little while longer, and we've reached the end of the half hour, so I'll return to Priscilla.
Let us now dedicate the goodness of what you have done to all living beings. May kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity pervade all worlds. May we cherish and build affinities to benefit all beings. May Chan, Pure Land, and precepts inspire equality and patience. May our gratitude and humility give rise to great vows.
Thank you, Jonathan. We hope the check-in today was helpful to you all and that you experienced the loving kindness of this community as it is offered here today. For anyone who might be experiencing a greater need than what we could meet, or if you'd just like to get in touch with any suggestions or comments, please don't hesitate to email us on the email above. We have a few sessions coming up. The Mirrors to Wisdom poetry event will be on this afternoon at 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time. And you can still register at poetry.thebbp.org. You notices, just a plug, if anyone's able to help volunteer for these sessions, I know we had a few names come through the survey, so I might be in touch with you soon. We're just after someone to help a little bit with some Facebook postings for the lovely reflections and chat box chats that the team have been doing, and with these Zoom meetings on the Sundays. Oh, just something there. Oh, yep, just skipped Joey. So I did want to say a big thank you to Jonathan today as well. So he's run our January cycle for us. So a big thank you to Jonathan for a wonderful exploration of some very challenging emotions with the community. In February, we'll be grateful to Joey. He'll be running the 4 sessions in February for us. And we'll send out Joey's bio, and of course his questions and topics will be coming up.